What's going on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video. So, look like Don Staley and the Gamecocks got it done in Alabama. Guys, for this one here, we got to go to Alabama. Let's get it. Let's go. As Don Staley and their South Carolina Gamecocks get prepared to try to go back to back, they nearly had a roadblock today down in Alabama going up against number 2 ranked Duke. But I'm here to tell you, they figured out a way to pull out the dub, man. Now, this was a very low scoring basketball game, but Don Staley pulled off another great coaching effort and got the dub, man. Now, with all that being said, she had a lot to say at the conclusion of this game. And y'all know me, man. I'm done talking. Roll the footage.
Being in this arena really felt welcoming to our game, and then just congratulate Duke on a great season and a hell of a basketball game. It's unfortunate that one of us had to win and one of us had to lose, but it wasn't from working super hard trying to get it done.
Okay, we'll take questions for the players in the front.
Dawn, it seemed like Duke's game plan was to junk it up on defense, try to keep the score low. Just how effective were they at doing that, and how difficult was it to try to solve that?
I think they were very effective. I thought that I thought they forced us into taking some bad shots that almost ended our season. Really, especially in the first half, and then the second half, I thought we I thought we tried to get the ball where it needed to go. Sometimes it disrupted that, but at the end of the day, I thought when we had to make plays off of broken sets, we did it in the fourth quarter, and I think that was the difference in between um, them coming back and building the lead and us bearing down and making sure we win those broken play battles.
Al to the left.
Hey, Don, Doug Farmer, DAP. Quick one. Have you signed a babies behind before? And the second one is
Have
just
I what?
signed a babies behind before? You signed a babies behind
Oh
today?
no, that was a first. And my hand was shaking.
And the second one, just you guys wanted, it seemed a different style with just a grinded out, tough defensive effort by you and made the plays at the end. How much could that help you going to Tampa this week? That type of win versus a more offensively aesthetic, pleasing type?
Uh, well, considering I think we played the Texas or TCU, right? If it's Texas, we're gonna muck it up just like we do in the in the Southeastern Conference. If it's TCU, much the same because they can score a lot of points. I just hope that we can get our offense going a little bit. We can't seem to play a little bit more fluidly. I thought we played with a lot better pace than we did on Friday. So I mean the pace will help some, but when you have two teams that really defend, it's going to look like that. So I thought both of us accomplished what we needed to accomplish while trying to get a win.
Right, Al.
The AP. Going off of what Sanaya was saying about after Chloe hit those free throws, she was telling them like it's not over. Having your players kind of take that accountability and leadership and pull the best out of each other during a game that wasn't easy. How important was that, and how big will that be going forward?
I mean, super important. You're hearing from young people who have dealt with things in real time. So I'm not surprised, but I'm proud because they have great self-talk. They have great talk amongst each other. They want each other to do well. They want to win. So it's all communication that that's helpful in those moments. Now we're probably communicating something else, and they're balancing us with that kind of talk, especially out of a timeout. They'll walk on the floor and they're just talking to each other through what needs to happen. That is um, a team and players that have played with each other a long time, and the teams and players that have done life skill sessions together. Team that's done the practices and the breakdown. Like I've got the best video coordinator ever. Like real time. They want to see where they made a mistake in practice, and we'll walk over and we'll look at it and we'll say, hey, and then they'll say, hey, I was out of place, I was wrong, or huh, looks like I was right this time. So it's great that we can have those things, impact actually real time game time, and we're in those situations.
To your left.
Abby helping USA Today. Coach, I want to ask you about something that happened off the court. Right after the game, before the trophy presentation, you went up to the Carolina basketball band and you shook hands with Dr. Wright and some of the students. What's your relationship like with the band, and why was it so important for you to go up to them afterwards?
I think it's customary for us to do. That's one. Two, I just think that the bands don't probably get enough credit that they deserve. They are at all the sporting events. They are, you know, injecting energy. Like it's when they're playing their songs, like we're no matter what we're doing, no matter how locked in we are, it just feels familiar. So when they're able to, give us some familiar, you can lock into what needs to happen out there on the floor. And I really enjoy them. They've been with us, over the some of them have been here, over the past 4 years, are going to their fourth Final Four. So I just want them to feel a part of it, because they really are a part of the atmosphere that's created in the gym.
To your left.
Hey, Don, Kareem Copeland, Washington Post. Same thing I was asking Bree. What was that message going into the fourth quarter after a rough third, and what does it say about them that they not only responded but immediately responded right at the beginning?
Yeah, the message was basically we got to operate. One was the offensive rebounds were killing us. Okay. Two, um, we have to operate. We have to operate in broken plays, right? Because they blew up some of our sets, and then when they blow them up, we have to stay calm, and we have to get a shot at the basket to actually give us an opportunity to make a basket or offensive rebound. But it was just about runs. It was their run, and we just talked about going on one of our runs.
Far left.
Don, you said Friday that at least on that day you didn't look, I think, like a national championship team. How do you feel now after that game?
You went for that. um, Look, at this point, it's not going to look pretty. Okay, it's not. There are stretches in each game that is not going to look pretty. If you watch all the games, you know, maybe the score at the end of a UConn game is not indicative of how it looked in the first two quarters. So some of it's not going to look as smoothly as us coaches and players envision or how we practice. Um, but you certainly have to get down and play the kind of game that's presented in front of you. And we'll do that. If we're not scoring a whole lot of points, then we got to up our defense. If we're scoring a whole lot of points, we got to up our defense. So it is that type of year that for us it's not any blowouts. We have to grind for every single win that we can get and manufacture.
Far right.
Don, two questions for you. One on Chloe talking about being scared to walk up and take those free throws. I'm curious your thoughts on her growth in this program and what it says about her ability to kind of push through that and nail those free throws. And then two, for you personally, you talk about Birmingham and how much people have really embraced really the whole regional. I'm curious, as someone who's such a figure in this sport, if you've given yourself time over the season to really kind of look at the sport and see just where it's grown and how much it's grown.
As far as Chloe, I am super proud of Chloe. Like Chloe came to us. She skipped her high school year and came to us halfway through um, the school year. Probably thought it was the worst decision that she made when she was going through it. But then the following year, she was a lot better. But her maturation process from everything. Like she's grown in every aspect of her life, mentally, physically, emotionally. Like you know, we have grown up conversations, and I can't believe it sometimes because how she came in. Now she's really thought provoking. Like she is really asking all the right things. Um, and what I really like about Chloe is, whether she makes you laugh with something that she says, or you know, or she says something just off the wall, it's her, and she's comfortable in her skin. Like that's what I want for our players, to get to know who they are, don't care about what anybody else thinks of them, and just continue to move on. But she's growing, right? And then our game is so good. Like I feel like everywhere I go, I feel the love, and like everywhere, like it's incredible how much people recognize, a figure like myself in women's basketball. Like, I mean, I could walk our campus, and students are coming up to me saying, my dad loves you, my mom loves you, right? We're here in Birmingham. Walk through our hotel. You walk around. They weren't all Gamecock fams. They were people who are part of this community. Wanting pictures and wanting autographs and just showing their appreciation. Like it's an honor to give it back to them. Like it truly is an honor. It's a necessity, and it's something that we have to do. But the love is felt.
Very back.
Cora Hall for the USA Today Network. Don, Sanaya has been so crucial for you guys this postseason. You went with the seniors and Chloe in that fourth quarter. How would you describe the trust that you have in Sanaya, and what's it like to see her become that player that you trust to help get the team across the line to make the Final Four?
I mean, Fagan's been a part of our program for 4 years now. Like her growth, her maturation process has just been on an upward trajectory. Um, you know, I've always said she was the most talented big. Like, whatever big that was on our roster, she was the most talented as far as being able to make moves and understand the game, um, and communicate the game. To see her just out there performing like a senior, that's what you want. I wanted her there a lot sooner than this year, but people's process are their process. We try to fast track it, but some of them just have to go through it. And once they've gone through it, you know, there's not very much. It's not very much communication that's needed. They just go out there and do it. So very happy. Got to lean on her for, hopefully 2 more games, and and they'll they'll that entire class will leave here as the most decorated if they can get another championship.
The front, right, left.
Joyce hasn't had a great 3 game
Yeah.
stretch. Just what's the mentality there? How do you kind of treat that going into this Final Four? 'Cause, she is your lead scorer, but
Yeah.
she seems to have kind of struggled.
Yeah, I mean, teams are scheming. Like it's I mean, it's a gift and a curse that you're our leading scorer. So people are gonna you know zero in on that and scheme to cut her production in half. And because of that, you see there's a there's a short gap between us winning and losing basketball games. um, just got to talk her through things. Don't overcomplicate things. We just trying to simplify, just really simplify things for her. But things are coming fast at her, so it's hard. I mean, I know she wants to play well. I know she wants to help our basketball team, but sometimes, in situations like this, I mean, you've helped us all season long. And it's okay to allow some other players to help in those situations. But hopefully, we have a week of practice where we can get back and simplify, and hopefully we can show her some film where she can be effective. But we need her. If we're gonna win a national championship, we need better production from Joyce.
We'll go here and then we'll conclude with a question on Zoom.
Hey, Coach, just when you look back on this team, I know the job's not finished, but when you look back on this team specifically, at the end from the end of the regular season to now, just what intangibles do you think you'll remember, and what are those intangibles that you think help them get through games like they did today?
I mean, I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but we've handled things in real time. Like I really don't think I've had a team that has been able to communicate as early. Like when we see something, we act like a look, sound, feel. Like they will say what's happening, and you can deal with it in like in that moment. They don't wait until a week later. Like they really want to win. They really want to be the best that they can be, and they're unafraid to be vulnerable and discuss shortcomings. They just want to know, how I can hurdle that and what I need to do to get through that moment. And we can be us as coaches. We could just, okay, she wants this. She really wants this. Like, let's talk about it. So that's been pretty cool that this team is able to give in to real talk. And I think that's what gets us over the hump. Like they just talked about what their process is in stressful situations, and they talk their way through them, and they help each other out, and then we execute. Because Chloe missed back to back free throws, which is something that she doesn't normally do. So we went back to her. She finished it. Now she's a lot more confident than she was after she missed those two free throws.
Okay, we'll go to Jonathan on Zoom.
Jonathan Dallas from Light on College Sports. Coach Staley, the landscape of college athletics is constantly changing with the transfer portal and NIL. Can you talk about how you've been able to adjust and adapt to have your team make it to 5 straight Final Fours in this climate?
We've done it with great communication. We've done it with great parents. We've done it with um, a roster full of players that you can real talk to. Like I don't think we're paying the most in the NIL space, um, but I don't even know if it's fair, to be quite honest. It's what it is, and then I just think that the state of our game is forever changing, and although with the revenue sharing coming up, it's supposed to streamline things, but we're right in the middle of um, change, and we either have to be able to pivot and deal with it and communicate what needs to happen, or or they or we're gonna have to retire and go into a different profession. But um, I think it boils down to just communication. You either have it or you don't in the NIL space, and then you just have to communicate that to agents and parents and give them a choice. You got to you got non-negotiables. You got priorities. What are your priorities? Is it NIL? If it's NIL, I'm quick to say, go get the money, put it away, let it compound. Okay, if you want something different, you want a different experience, and we've been to 5 straight Final Fours. We know what that looks like and feels like and sounds like, and what goes into that. We're gonna give you a different shake.